help our students carry something forward from the exam process, not just a result, but something learned, some skill. We need to focus on quality examination and the double duty. I think formative assessment has a double duty as well. And it's almost in the opposite direction. And we ask the question, what is being learned in the here and now? Formative assessment concentrates on the learner becoming a self-regulated, self-monitoring, autonomous learner. We're right to ask the question, which is the carrying forward the lifelong skill. We're right to ask the question, and what about the here and now? Are our students who we're doing formative assessment with, are they achieving more? Are they learning better as a result? So what is being learnt in the here and now? The idea that assessment for learning to learn, learning to critical thinking, they have to be about something. There's the danger that it simply becomes a metacognitive process, independent of the curriculum, independent of everything. And I'm saying this can't be. It has to be achievement focused. We have to be learning something. Our thinking skills have to be about something. Learning to learn, I think, is an empty term. We need to learn how to do something, learning how to learn something. So it leads me to think that assessment for learning is not curriculum neutral. It's not a set of techniques you can just apply to anything, doesn't matter. Teachers need to be clear about what is being learned. They need to understand the area, the domain, and they need to understand, and we find this really difficult, I think, what learning progression is. If I'm giving feedback about where to go next, do I actually know where to go next in the subject I'm teaching? So it's firmly curriculum-based in a sense. The teacher needs to know what progression is before we can give useful feedback about where to go next. And my final point on this, the idea that autonomous learning is not about learning by oneself. That's what it sounds like. If you're autonomous learners, Liz from New Zealand mentioned this on Monday, the daughter who was just being given inquiry skills but no help. Autonomous learning is not about being told, go off and do it by yourself. Autonomous learning is about the kind of self-regulation as we acquire knowledge and skills from other people. You can't learn in a vacuum. You need a community of learners. The autonomy is about how much sense I can make for myself, how much I can organize it for myself, how can I look for myself. But autonomous learners need other people to help them, and need information, and need resources, and need guidance, scaffolding, the rest. So it's not just exams that I'm interested in, the double duty. We have a double duty, I think, in formative assessment to say, and what are we doing in the here and now to improve the students' understanding of this subject. The examination is over, that's not the end of it. I think in many of our exams at the moment, and we've all been through these, you walk out 2 weeks later, you've carried nothing even that long. You've forgotten everything you learned, and it didn't make much sense anyway. So how do we develop exams that will encourage learners to think, to understand what they're doing, and to carry this forward beyond the exam room? And I'll stop there. Thank you, Randy.
Thank you, Gordon. Satya, do we have time for questions? I don't know the answer because I can't see.
No, I can't see it.
If Satya is even there. Do we have time for questions? Yes, okay, now I can see you. Thank you. Okay, so if there are any questions, comments, criticisms, complaints for Gordon?
There's some over to the left there.
Sorry, I'm tall and I'm loud and I'm bossy. Gordon, wonderful talk. Interesting that you use the performance assessment example of the airline pilot. I'm with you. I don't like guys who only get 51% in landing airplanes. But I do wonder whether there are some constructs which should be ideally assessed in the 20 to 40 zone. reliable, manageable, and construct valid, what are those assessments, and shouldn't that be what exams do, and everything else done some other way?
I think the notion of my trade-off is once you're in the 20 to 40 zone, you've really lost some of the construct validity. So you can do a functional skills multiple choice that's available anytime you want. You can take it as many times as you like, but doesn't actually address practical daily skills. So I'd want to, again, push that round. I take your point that exams are always going to be pulled towards it. I'm simply making the point that the further back towards 12 we can get, the closer the grade represents what somebody may be able to do. And we get a lot of employers, and the Ofsted maths thing was a case in point, where they've done well in the examination, which is in the kind of 20 to 40 range, the maths test, but they can't do everyday maths. So I'd want to pull that back. So I do think we're probably disagreeing here. I want the exams kept out of the 20 to 40 zone. I want ways of staying nearer to 12.
Please join me in thanking Gordon again for that thought-provoking and interesting keynote. Thank you, Gordon.